Oh, again, just in the nature of, well, maybe not again. Maybe this is your first time joining me. And if that's the case, hello. But yeah, there's been some stuff that I just wanted to come on to say. And yeah, in this live in particular, I want to talk about, um, I actually want to talk about, sorry, let me just like center in. I'm going to take a moment just to calm my mind, center in. It's kind of like exposure therapy for me. I have a lot of things that I want to say, but I'm practicing actually saying them in a way that is cohesive. So, yeah, just universe, help me to have a beautiful place to put my thoughts, to put my experiences, and I'm so hopeful that, yeah, whatever is meant to come through comes through, and in the same way that this wisdom has helped me, help it to help other people as well, for more joy and more happiness and more peace. Yeah, okay, well now it seems super clear. So the thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is our web. It is the people, and particularly the people that we stitch to in our lives. Now, it is a fundamental human need. Every single one of us wants to feel connected to the world around us. And I think one of the hardest things to experience is when the people around us actually have us feeling more disconnected from our true selves. And I think that's one of the characteristics of, if you find yourself around people that are constantly making you feel more in fight or flight, they're making you feel more in survival mode, they're making you feel more anxious, and it could be very subtle, you know, like you might not even notice. It could be like just like this looming feeling, or like this looming like, you know, tapping your foot or like tapping your hand. Yeah, it just you feel like you don't completely have permission to be your true self. And I think that one of the most common things that we do in that situation is we blame ourselves. And we say that something's wrong with me, that I can't be myself. But in truth, I think that if we are around people that we don't feel comfortable being our true self, I think there's two kinds of that. I think the first kind is, okay, like I'm getting to know these people more, and I'm just learning to feel more comfortable being my true self. I'm learning to be more comfortable being authentic. And I think that the second kind, and that kind is not problematic, because that's kind of like, it's okay, you know. It's like I feel nervous, but it's like a lot of times those people let us take our time. Like they let us come into ourselves. They give us permission to, like, yeah, like we're just taking it slow. Like I'm just getting to know you. It's cool. Like let's go play some spike ball or something. And then there's the other kind where maybe we've gotten to know them a long time, and for whatever reason, we still find ourselves stitched to them. We still find ourselves in relation to them. It could be a boss, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a romantic partner. And for whatever reason, we find ourselves stitched to them. And I think that it's really, really common in this dynamic, if we start to feel uncomfortable, that maybe after a while, as we start to build trust, we start to say what is bothering us. We say, hey, like, I don't feel completely comfortable with this. Like maybe we try to create boundaries. Maybe we try to try to make it better, right? For whatever reason, we want to stay in relation to this person. Maybe it's convenience, maybe it's practicality, maybe it's like you're blood related to them. And so we try to create boundaries. And I think it's really common in this second circumstance that, or at least based on my experience, that you can try to create boundaries, but then this person or these people, it can seem like it's very like that they're not okay with what you're saying, and they take it as an attack, and they start saying like, hey, no, that's not okay. That's not okay that you're saying this. You think something's wrong with me? Like actually something's wrong with you. And that's the key. Like they don't say it specifically, but it's all defensive. There's no receptivity. There's no like, hey, like I'm actually curious like why this is causing you to be upset. It's all just defense mode. Something's clearly wrong with you. Like, no, like nothing is wrong with me at all. And yeah, and then we start to question ourselves, and we think that something is wrong with us for our inability to feel connected to this person. And what ends up happening is that if we have a lot of people in our lives that have this kind of dynamic, is that we start to feel very alone in the world. We start to feel very disempowered. And when we feel alone and we feel disempowered, we seek out connections and we seek out relationships. And a lot of times it's this horrible cycle that keeps us actually stuck in these relationships that are actually disempowering us. And we don't know it in particular as like all these concepts. We know it as a feeling, like, oh my gosh, I feel this horrible feeling. I don't want to be alone right now. I don't want to be by myself. Like, I just need to know that there are people in the world who look out for me. And then oftentimes it allows us to be in relation with these people and completely compromise our boundaries. And what happens over time is that we're then with these people and it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm just so glad to be with someone. Like, I know I'm supported, blah, 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 blah. And maybe to a certain extent you are. But then over time, the prerequisite for this connection is you not showing up as yourself. And again, that is just going to make you feel more isolated. It's going to make you feel more alone in this world. It's going to make you feel that all these things that you want to experience here in life, you don't have permission to experience if it means that you're going to feel safe in the world, if you're going to feel connected. And this cycle, it can become so vicious because if we don't feel safe in the world, we are always going to do things that we're always going to cling to our comfort zone. We're always going to cling to it. Like, if we feel disconnected, we feel alone, it's like, oh my gosh, I already feel so unsafe in the world. I'm in survival mode. We're just going to keep doing the things that we've continued to do. Because the things that we've continued to do, even though it's been super hard for us, it's kept us alive. It's kept us safe. And this is what often keeps us going back to these relationships. Again, it could be a boss, like a professional relationship. It could be romantic. It could be a friendship. It could be a family member, any kind of relationship. And it will keep us going back to this relationship because even though it is killing our soul, it has kept us safe. Now, as you continue going down this cycle, what I found based on my own experience, and this is like deep offering of love right here, is that the thing that is keeping you safe, the thing that you're using to combat this feeling of isolation, this feeling of loneliness, this feeling of despair, is actually the thing that is keeping you stuck in it. And yeah, I have chills saying that. And that's like, it makes me want to cry saying it, because it's like, it's so hard to see it when you're in it, because you think that the thing that's keeping you stuck in despair, like these relationships that suck, are actually the things keeping you safe. But over time, they start to kill you in a different kind of way. They start to kill your soul. They start to kill your spirit. And we as human beings, we're not alive just to survive. If we were alive just to survive, there would be no problem with us just living our whole lives inside our comfort zones. We would never feel miserable. Like, people can get sick from being in their comfort zones for too long. It causes stress. It causes illness. It causes 95% of the reason that people end up in hospitals is stress-related illness. And as we start to continue to live lives where we don't express our true essence, our authenticity, it literally can lead to stress and sickness and ailments. Which, like, it seems like it's catch-22, right? Like, either I feel completely alone, or I have these relationships which also completely suck and might also be killing me. But what I'm here to say is that a lot of times all that we need to shift things up is just to take a leap of faith. Yeah, the birds are like, yeah, that's right. Sometimes that's all we need, is just to take a small leap of faith. These relationships can be so destructive because they tell us that we are horrible, that we are worthless, that we have nothing going for us. And I think that's part of the tactics that oftentimes these relationships use to keep us around, to keep like leeching off of us, to keep preying off of us. And they tell us that you're no good, like, you're just a piece of shit, you have nothing good going for you. But it's not true. It's not true at all. And in fact, the type 1 relationships that I was talking about earlier, the people in your life who are okay with you taking some time, opening up and getting to know you, they're the ones who know and feel how rewarding it is to hold space for another person and to allow another person to be human. And I found that these people are also the ones who know that, like, we humans, we experience a full range of emotions, and that doesn't have to intimidate us in our relationships. It doesn't mean that we're a burden just because we're going through a lot of stuff. In fact, just the other day, I met someone new, and me, my friend Allie, my friend Lainey, we invited him over to our table, and he, after like 20 minutes, told us he had been going through a lot, just decided to try something new, went to this bar all by himself, and we ended up becoming friends. And he was so cool, and he was so smart, and he had so many amazing perspectives, and like, he was brilliant, like, in his own way. It was powerful, you know? And it just really, really showed me that, like, it's so easy to tell ourselves these narratives, especially when we're surrounded by these people that, again, we think are the ones that are keeping us safe, that are keeping us from feeling alone. despair, really, like loneliness is more of a narrative, but that are keeping us from feeling despair, um, are actually the ones that make us feel more worthless and make us feel like nobody else wants to get to know us. Um, and yeah, like it's the most rewarding thing, just getting to know another human. Like every single one of us is one of one. And I think when we take the time to surround ourselves with the right kind of relationships, we can start to notice it. And so maybe you don't have to do like a massive leap of faith, like quitting your job or like setting fire to your town and like leaving, or like, I don't know, anything super rash. But maybe you could just start to tell the universe that you're open to experiencing new types of connections, where people just appreciate for you, and they give you, you feel your nervous system. You literally feel safe being yourself around them, and you don't feel like you have to convince another person to like just accept you for you or for permission to show up as yourself. And I also want to say that if you are putting up boundaries with another person, um, and you're saying like this is important for me to be myself, and you are not asking that person for anything, like you're not asking them for like to go out of their way and do something, and they say that like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna say this anyway. Let me think about how I really want to say this. If you feel like you have to create like, yeah, like convince someone to give you permission to be yourself, it's probably a relationship that like it's time to reevaluate. Because yeah, like no person is ever a burden. Like there should be no reason that for you, like just doing the things that you want to do that doesn't involve another person. Like I just want to be able to, like in my house, it's just like have the blinds open, you know, and like maybe find a compromise with them open or closed. And the person that I was living with said that they want them closed all the time, and I was like, well, I really like them open, and I'm down to compromise. And this person said, I'm not willing to compromise, like because you want them open, you're being selfish. And I think that when you're in a disempowered cycle, it's easy to like the first thing you do is to say, am I being selfish for like wanting the blinds open? And in this example, I think all of us who are watching this, who this resonates with, have an example of you being willing to compromise because of something that you like, and someone calling you selfish because you weren't willing to compromise. And I'm here to tell you that that's fucking bullshit. And if that's pissing you off hearing this, it should fucking piss you off because it's ridiculous. You are allowed to be yourself. You are allowed to have your needs met. And you are not a burden. Okay? You are not a burden. So, yeah, I think that's all I have. So, whoever this finds, I just hope it resonates with you so much, because this has helped me so much, this perspective. And I just needed to like meet enough new people to remind me of this for me to be like, oh my God, it's so true. So yeah, much love to all of you, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening.